Good morning. I'm Lynn Morgan. I'm the pastor of St. Matthew's United Church of Christ in Hamburg, and I am your slipper-shod pastor. Although today I have sneakers on because I'm hanging around in church. But you haven't been hanging around in church for a while. This Sunday will be the third time that we have not met in person. And so that's a little strange for me, and I think for you too, not to be singing songs of praise together and praying with and for each other in one place and listening to the word proclaimed and sharing with one another just that simple sacramental presence of God living in and with us together. That's just one symbol of the ways in which this time of social isolation has caused us to be absent from many of the people who we would ordinarily populate our lives, with whom we have friendships and relationships of work and study. And for some people, that is tremendously anxiety provoking. And I thought for about a minute of how to encourage people to overcome that isolation with creative means. And maybe we'll talk about that some other time. But it didn't take me long to realize that even though we're anxious about being by ourselves and not in the madding crowd, it's good for us from time to time to be in a lonely place. I say this not just to speak of the revenge of the introverted, but because there's something spiritually valuable to taking time alone. Jesus did repeatedly in the Gospels. Not long passages about Jesus' isolation of himself, but a snippet here and there in which it said that he went away to a lonely place to pray. Clearly, Jesus did this routinely. And it's also not unusual that when he comes out of those lonely places of prayer, that he does significant events. He calmed the sea, walked on water. When he emerged from prayer like this one time is when he taught his disciples what we call the Lord's Prayer. And just before he was betrayed with a kiss and taken to endure his passion and death, he was in a place of lonely prayer. There are advantages to being by ourselves from time to time, to focus our attention not on the many things that swirl around us, but upon the depths of our relationship with God and with one another. And in that quiet place, to turn our attention from ourselves to those who are absent from us, who sometimes in their absence can become clearer to us as to who they are, what they need, how they matter. So while we're shut in our homes, while our routines are radically altered, find time for prayer and meditation, for simple gratitude that you are, though cut off from the world, always held in the deep loving care of a God who has made you for God's own self to be in relationship with God. Be at peace, my friends. Amen.